What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. There is so much happening this weekend. The YCS has shaken things up already, and it hasn't even concluded. Over 2,000 people watching as I record during a break. That's pretty good for Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! Although they still have to catch up on official coverage to Farfa and Decade by a good amount. Then you have almost as good as McDonald's Sprite level rank Linked, who's getting a ton of buyouts due to Splites, a new archetype in the OCG. So we'll cover some of those, what I think isn't being looked at, what did get picked up during the week, and also what is topping in the YCS and what has the potential to really go all the way. I am enjoying the YCS oh so much. But I want to start off with a little lesson, speaking of new support, with a graph that is similar between a casual-ish but fan favorite card and then a meta card on their year-long graphs. Look at Bingo Machine Go. New support is announced. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Blue Eyes new support. It's actually good. It's in a core set, not a Megaton. And it spikes up. But by good, it's not bringing it Premier to the forefront of the meta. It doesn't prove itself in the OCG. And it dips all the way back to just $1 above where it was at. Actually, about where it was at. And then it oh my gosh, it's almost finally here in the TCG. It's crazy. It's here. Oh yeah, let's get it again. You had all this time between the crazy trample, the FOMO, fear of missing out, people going in and buying it at the up price, and it chills out, and then it gets here. Oh my gosh. Well, that's because it takes 3 to 4 months, sometimes 5, depending on delays, for things to get on the TCG. And since we're talking market theory, I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor channel. I don't know your bankroll, your ability to hold on to things, and trends can change, but this has been a trend for almost a decade in our community. Plus, when people started paying way more attention to the OCG news became way more prevalent in the community. You look at a Luber, it's chilling, 38, starts to go up a little. People are like, well, something has to be money in Dawn of Majesty. The structure deck has announced new support, crazy hype. It doubles in price. Then it chills out, and a lot of people get worried. I remember the lower rated sellers right around here are at $55, and people are like, it's available for $55. What's wrong? Is it overhyped? Is it going to flop? It's performing in the OCG. It's that there's that long gap between us waiting for it. Structure deck got delayed. We're about to get it this week, upcoming. We're still waiting on it, and then it spikes. Oh my gosh, it's almost here. It's crazy, and it gets an unprecedented reprint, which is why it falls off. Konami reached 3 sets back through the Megatons after really hyping and pumping up the Megatons to give a little something to Ghost from the past too. And you see it actually went down to 70, 75 as we were recording earlier during the dip, and now it's towards 100 again with the reprint on the horizon. A lot of people speculating that it's going to be short printed, that sort of thing. But what we're really looking at is, oh my gosh, new support announced, then the dip, then the re-rise, and how it consistently does this for both rogue fan favorites and meta cards, or things that just even aren't going to pan out necessarily. Time and time again, people have this fear of missing out, and they kind of go on this back and oh, it could re-spike, it could go crazy, yet realistically, a lot of the time, you have this nice open window to go for a card. It doesn't always play out that way. Sometimes there is that double down buyout, sometimes something goes a different route, or sometimes the secondary spike doesn't happen again, because people realize, wow, that was trash, that was way overhyped when people saw it and went for it. But this graph is very common in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's a trend I want you to pay attention to in the future, because Market Watch is teaching you to have the tools to apply it to yourself. You should never be blindly following YouTubers and should be able to make these kind of connections yourself and your thoughts moving forward. I never had so many questions about a card as a Luber in the modern era of the channel and what I thought, especially as it bottomed out. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's just going to go back up again, but can't tell the future, right? And up it did go. Now, the YCS had so many different decks in representation. Tenyi, Sword Soul, Flunderies all over the place. You have, of course, the Adventurer, Prank Kid, Takeover that's all over, Eldritch throughout the top cut, and I'm sure somebody's complaining about Dogmatica Invoked making, that Alistair causing trouble. Down to the top 8, we do see Destiny Despia in the hands of one of the best duelists, Andres Torres. You also have multiple Adventure Prank Kids here on this side of the table. 3 of them. Tenyi Sortzel, Eldritch, Flunder still in. And Destiny, Adventure, Cybers, Eldritch. I bet that is a spicy list. So there's the top 8 whittled down. This is on the official Konami coverage site. It is being live streamed as well if you'd like to tune in after the video or, pause and go on. But please help my watch time. And yeah, be aware there are things that are shaking up. Sky Striker made top cut. And with that, apparently hot tech offering to the Doom, the Lart is getting bought out to a degree right now and has gone up to $6 versus having chilled out recently. That's a 33% increase overnight. But there is, wow, the page even changed when I went back to it. There is a Speed Duel Tournament Pack holographic of the old school being its highest rarity for the old school art. Something to consider because a lot of boomers actually just prefer that to Lart. While Lart does get hype beast at a good degree, tons of people are holding up on this, hoping it hits $10 or something, waiting to list theirs versus this much more chokeholded kind of card to get that might be better to think about getting. MathMex had new support. I failed to cover the Xyz, and a lot of people in the Discord can't wrap their heads around this secret rare being bought out and going crazy when the gold letter rare is over here. I just want to say it's an extremely easy buyout to make happen because it was short printed in Mystic Fighters, one of the top selling side sets of all time, and being short print, that's like 3.4 per case in there. That's extremely easy to make disappear, and he didn't exactly go down too much even after the reprint. You can see it was down towards 10, 12, but like, in real terms, the double up was the initial buyout, and now it's going even crazier on a double down immediate buyout, and you have the easy access version, yes, but it's not exactly the stupidest thing in the world. I do think that it's a little weird people are doubling down that quickly and going for the more expensive copies. I'm allergic to gold rare, but I do want to say it's one of the easier buyouts to make happen. And Lapilation, I don't think it was as badly shorted, but I do remember it being shorted. I have to go back and look at the ratio. Getting bought out, it's its only version, and people are going crazy on it. Now, Level and Link 2's SEMO's top 5 Rising Rampage cards finally coming to fruition as people go crazy for Capshell. If it's detached from an Xyz monster, you get a draw, and it is a Dark Fiend fitting the dark typing of what's needed for some of the Xyz and stuff like that. People are eating this one up. Now, Capshell does have a reprint, if I recall, that is easy access, but it's no secret rare. It is a rare out of the Mega Pack, so if you just want a version for super cheap, you're actually eating up this level Link rank 2 hype and think Capshell is the answer card, you can go for it. I don't necessarily think Capshell is it, but it's not bad either, and people get hyped over this initial card that they thought had potential, and now it's finally its moment to maybe shine. New support equals buyout. Yep. Number 65 Gen Buster is a number card with only 1 printing, and number hunting has begun on it. 2 level 2 dark monsters, and dark monsters there are in this archetype, and you can see near mint unlimbs all the way to $3+, so start looking through your bulk, and first ed's almost 2 4s. It reads, during either player's turn when an effect of an opponent's monster is activated, you detach 2 materials, negate the activation, and if you do, inflict 500. Now there's also in archetype negation available, and when you tribute an Xyz, you also get to destroy the card, so this is a negate, then the other card being out will be an additional negate. Despite being kind of weenie rush stats, it goes along with the deck in a weird way, and this card getting hyped here and going way up in price from almost no notoriety. Printed in Shadow Specters. Number 29 is just one I have my eye on. It has no reprint, but it is a common, and it's 8 years old at that point, and first editions are still very cheap. I would consider staring down Mannequin Cat, as it is one of the best rank 2s that gets commonly slept on. Recycling Battery Shatterfoil. The deck is a Thunder type deck, and this targets 2 Thunder monsters with 1500 or less. Add those targets to the hand. Great for the grind state. These things can only special summon themselves. Hard once per turn. We're talking about the splites for all the Link rank level 2 buyouts here. You can look that up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Org. I do have a video covering it also, but this card getting back to is kind of a salvage for the deck. Salvage is more commonly used. It's for waters, and I don't think it's a great extender card, so I do wonder how it will interact with the pacing of the deck. pack. Very available from Duelist Genesis, though. Other versions of it, not the most of the common. Hero Kid was speculated to be on this bio. I just want to point, whenever you say, oh, it's getting bought out, it's going crazy, look at it. Look at the actual sales. It's not anything to do with that. It's that DR4 versions of cards are extremely hard to get. Doom Lord is one of my favorite rares out of DR4. And with that, some of these cards remain absurdly expensive with really low sales rates and almost no listings. It's not really surprising that it's at this price, and it's not a knee-jerk reaction buyout. This was brought to me by like 3 different people, and I had to point each time, look over here, look at this. So if you're one of those people, do kind of look at the whole picture rather than just, oh, it's here and that's what happened. Ipira is a card that actually was brought up on stream, and it didn't react really till today, and it's still only a $1 card. I remember this getting bought out a long time ago due to Mech Knights and Mech Knights' success with this. If it's special summoned, you draw a card. You can only use this once per turn, so recurring this later also will continue to get you draws. I think this probably has a lot more success potential in the deck than Cap Shell, but hey, I could be wrong. It is an Earth Reptile. Cap Shell's a Dark, fits that typing. Also a Fiend. So this might limit certain amounts of your plays, but I still think this is really good. And a lot of people are on Paleo Frogs, which I don't have pulled up. Let me look at Totally Awesome real quick. I know Swap Frog Ultras have gone up over time. It seems to be like mildly up, but people aren't going too crazy. This has been expensive for a while for a gold letter rare, though, and it doesn't look like it's any kind of knee-jerk reaction, though. Sky Cavalry Centuria has also been expensive for a very long time and low on listing, so be aware that's a rank 2 that's still just needing of a reprint at some point somehow. Dark, I warned you guys about this Charmer. Even without the waifu tax, it's one of the best ones, and to keep an eye on it. And now it is near $400. Quantities have been going on this, and people continue to move on this one. I want to highlight what a failing set is in my eyes real quick, because so many people are quick to say the GX Duel Academy box has failed. It's under MSRP. It's not suddenly going way up like, you know, the Battle City box. It's like that was instantly $38 and continue to go up. A success means that vendors are still able to make money off it versus its sales rates, and you can do that with this even with fees and shipping to a degree. The vendors probably spend around $16.50 on this since it was still a $29.99 MSRP, and you would only be really losing money if you were a good amount under that, I would feel, if you're competent with your shipping. Now, the singles, they certainly are not as good as the Battle City box, and that's the RNG that was necessary. Dasher also got a super rare suddenly in an OTS pack. That reprint was so good, let's do it again. This was already a secret rare before. This was already a secret rare before. DD Warrior Lady, I do expect to go up over time as a new high rarity. Same with Deco, which already did have a speed duel super. I believe Polly already had a secret in the GX collection or something anciently. Rainbow Dragon had a 10 secret. Book of Moon already has a secret rare. I don't think Ancient Gear Golem had one. Plasma had a 10 secret. Sphere Kribo's kind of just for the format of speed duels. Cyber End Dragon had a secret rare, if I'm not mistaken. Ojama King sure didn't. That's some stonks right there. Rocket had a secret originally, although it's been a long time. Apprentice did not, and is kind of a neat deck back in the day. Donzaluke's getting its Lart around the corner, but still a cool secret to see. Crystal Bee Sapphire Pegasus already has a 10 secret. You see where I'm going with this? Doomfire had a secret rare. Armed Dragon level 7 had a very niche popular collector secret rare, but did have a secret. And then you get Floodgate Trap Hole getting to max rarity. Wing Kribo's kind of neat. And then you go through the set of commons, and there's Hydrogeddon with the secret. A lot of kind of neat ones, but not as impactful, crazy, pass format, held up cards as others, and Speed Duel is limiting in terms of what you can print into here, but it's not failing. A failing set would be an example like Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1. They're selling this, I'll pull up the calculator real quick. They're selling this at $72, right? Now, these little tuck boxes, they MSRP for $15 each, and when you're looking at 8 per display that they're selling this at $72, right? Divided by the 8 boxes, they're selling it at 9 each, when they're likely buying it around 8.25 each after shipping. it ain't looking so hot. They're trying to bail on the product. They're trying to get rid of it. They're trying to throw it away. They're not trying to make any money off it anymore. They're just trying to ditch it. That would be more of a failed product overall, and there's only one single beating the set. Sorry, clicked on something random, this best-selling cards thing, which I like that TCG Player does those articles. And the commons are really what's rising up through the set because it's so little open. I do think there's way more money to make off the singles in the set because of how little it will be opened and a lot of speculatory things to go for there, since, you know, you're not seeing a ton of the commons. Speaking of citing for future formats and speculation, we do have upcoming the Alba Strike stuff, and Ghost Bell's pretty good against them. I saw a thread in Zodiac that was like, shh, don't tell anybody, and I said, what's good, YouTube? Well, here we are, and you get a second one this video. Ghost Bell has really low listings for a lot of her versions and variants, and has consistently been going slowly up in price. Lancia, I noticed the secret rares, the top end of this, has been spiking really hard. Lowest availables are around $15 now versus market price was $13 and $12 before that. So this is starting to slowly spike to a brand new all-time high. And the Harpy Perfumer had an ultra rare buyout when it has a brand new secret rare, but the secret rare is going up in price too. Let me know if you know why for this one. I do know that Harpy Tri-Brigade is a thing to a degree, but I'm not necessarily sure why people are suddenly, you know, pouncing on this one. Moki Moki got some new support announced, and with that, memes, don't let your memes be dreams. We talked about this card and its price. Up goes the first edition market price, and I think the lowest available was like $30 at one point, and that's now gone. It's sold! I love stumbling onto these things when I do my live takes. Somebody bought the $30 Moki Moki. What a world, what a universe we live in. I'm sure that's from Master Duel mascot hype, right? And then finally, I wanted to bring up number 100 Numeron Dragon. I don't know if I've refreshed this at all or not. This card is starting to get a little more speculated on because Dragula Bond's getting a reprint, and this has not been mentioned around there. And when people get their hands on one piece of a combo they really wanted and look around, well, Dragons of Legend the Complete Series wasn't open to the utmost. It is a slow burner of a product itself. There's all these different versions of this card, but the secret rare is probably where I would be going if I was getting a piece / copy, unless you want that matching ultra rare for yourself, and you can pick your color with that gimmick. This is just a card I would think about having. It's consistently gone up even since its reprint. It's just, you know, a card that's cheese OTK, yes, but also kind of cool and something to think about since its other combo piece is getting reprinted. But with that, this could see a reprint maybe and goes from the past. Also, there's a huge set list, and we don't know a lot of what's inside. So sometimes you get burned trying to play that game, and you kind of flip a coin. Is it or isn't it? Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. I'm going back to enjoying the YCS, and I should have a YCS after party stream. It's been a long time since I've gotten to do one of those. It should be a lot of fun. See everybody there.